Still crying the same tears. From Emmett to Nolan, how many more years? Copper blood in these waters, Most High see us here. Peace be still, but the truth gonna appear. Emmett Till, young boy whistling in the store. White lies turned to lynch and dragged him from the door. Beaten, shot river, swallowed him whole. Open casket, mama showed the world his soul. Nolan Wills, 18, boat ride on the 4th. Only black in the circle, now they say he drowned for. Horn Island whispers, friends came back without him. Mississippi history, still hunting, still doubting. Same state, same pain, different name. Black boy lost in the Delta rain. When will it change? Lord, when will it change? Ancestors screaming, we never left this stage. 1955, Chicago boy down south for the summer breeze. Money, Mississippi, wrong place for a black team to breathe. Brian Store, maybe a whistle, maybe just a smile. Jim Crow code broken, now they coming in the night. Wild Roy and Milan snatched him from his uncle's floor. Tortured that baby, Fanta round, body in the Tallahatchie roar. Mutilated face, mama said let the world see. Acquitted by all white jury, not guilty, set him free. Sparked the movement, Montgomery rose from the flames. But the Delta dirt still holding black boys' names. Emmett was 14, just a child in his prime. Lynched for existing in a twisted mind. Emmett Till, Nolan Wells, Delta shadows ringing bells. Black life cheap in these haunted lands. Most High coming with justice in his hands. 2026 July 4th, independence gone wrong. Broke the Horn Island with the crew, singing freedom songs. 18 years young, big heart, only copper in the mix. Friends white as the judge that let killers walk in. 55 disappeared that day, body found on the shore 2 nights later. They say drowning, no foul play, but the family know better. Questions swimming deeper than the Gulf water's cold. Why leave your phone? Why the silence from the foe? Mississippi again, history echoing loud. Been Crump calling for truth, independent, autopsy proud. Was it accident or the past rising from the mud? Black boy with white friends, trust issues in our blood.
Why the same soil claim my sons? Ancestor never left, we still the chosen one.
From Till's open casket to Nolan's unanswered call. In time signs, Leviathan rising, watch the fall. No hate, just black love, we hold each other tight. But stop crashing out on each other and demand what's right.
Peace be still,
Through the storm we prevail,
Father's child.
we shall not fail. Both in Mississippi, Delta's cruel embrace. One lynched open, one body lost without a trace. Emmett's killers brag after the verdict came. Nolan's story fogged in speculation and shame. 14 or 18, young kings taken too soon. Waters claim the bodies, but the spirit touched the moon. Same fear, same doubt, same racist undercurrent flow. But we wiser now, cameras, voices won't let go. Indigenous copper, mountain builder stand tall. We walk together, ancestors answer the call. No more silent nights, no more cover graves. Justice for Emmett, justice for Nolan. Raise the blade. Hell no, but our spirit never failed. We got black love revolution now. Most High know my heart, make it right somehow.
Peace be still,
Peace be still. From Till to West, the story's still real. Let the world see, let the truth be free. Let the world see, let the world see. Let the truth be free.
Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, and all of that. Okay, so let's get ready to get black into it. Let's see who's in here. Hello, Jaden, Desmond. All right, Pauline is here. Sheila. Irma Griffin is in the virtual building. Trisha. High Confessions. All right, Star Jammer. Okay, Jerron. All right, Gino Zach is here. Emperor Rex, Nalon. Okay, so let's get this party started. I see you, Greta Lee. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuning into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Hello, Youngish Turnip. Just Janine is here. Okay, let's get into it. Daughter of Zion. Nessa G Cookie. Okay, shout out to everyone. Now, with that all being said, before we get started, you all know the routine. Let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all been said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it. Hold on. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil as well. Now hold on, because I just saw something. Beloved. So hold on. Let me find it real quick. Okay, now with that all being said, let's get ready to get black into it. Okay. So first things first. Hold on, let me clean some of this stuff off of here. Okay, so let's talk about it because, they have this nefarious plot to bring down Ben Crump. Can you all hear me? Once in the chat if the audio is good. Once in the chat. Hey, Ashkan. Once in the chat if the audio is good. Quiet Storm, I see, beloved. Shawana is here also. Can you all hear me? Is the audio good? Let me know. Hold on, let me keep scrolling. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, so now with that being said, let's get ready to get into it. Now, first things first, let's talk about this nefarious plot that they've hatched, okay, to take down Crump. Okay, that's exactly what this is, and I want you all to pay attention. Okay, because they have hatched many a plan and plot, and this is what makes it all look so sketchy and suspicious. Why are so many things just, not being done in an appropriate manner? Okay, why is the family being harassed and threatened? No one's saying anything about that. Did you all notice that none of the news outlets are reporting anything about the Wonsleys being attacked? Okay, about anyone going in on them, making threats, trying to, make Miss Wonsley lose her job. Do you all notice how the lamestream media is silent on all of that? They've not said a word. I've not seen any of them report on that. If they did, I missed it. Okay, have you all heard any of them reporting on it? Because all I seem to keep hearing is them talking about the other people being harassed and threats made to them. Okay, and I find that very interesting. So now let's get into this attack on Ben Crump because they clearly want to take him down. And we're going to talk about it because remember the lies they've told. And now all of this has come out. And I wonder if Officer Tap Dancing Tatum is going to issue an apology. I'll bet you he won't, and nor do I expect him to. But it's funny that he seems to think that we're all going to owe the boys an apology. Well, he needs to start apologizing first, okay, for the lies he's told and for the accusations he's made that were not even true. Okay, so let's get into it. And the main one I'm talking about is the one about Crump. Okay, when he posted to social media gloating and clearly being so ecstatic because he felt like Crump had been caught in a lie. Okay, but now that person has come back and corrected themselves on a whole nother broadcast. All right, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I feel like Crump should sue him. He should definitely sue the Cajun Navy. And that wouldn't be the first time because as I reported to you all days ago, they in fact have already been sued by Cajun Navy 2016 for defamation, libel, and slander. Okay, so that should tell us everything we need to know right there about them.
Trasher, what can you tell me about an offer to the family regarding cadaver dogs?
Yeah, so obviously the online chatter started right away. People were coming up with all kind of bizarre theories about how he was, he came back to the island, they took him back out there and dumped him, all this kind of stuff. So we just said, hey, one of our top, canine teams happens to be in Jackson, Jackson County, Mississippi. Jackson County Canine is their name. I said, we'll be happy to have these cadaver dogs go over and inspect the boat. And we told this to Crump's legal team. And so we'll have them go inspect the boat, and they'll be able to tell if there's decomp on that boat. And they said, oh, well, we heard they cleaned the boat. I said, no, there's only one chemical that you could possibly get rid of decomp with, and I guarantee these people don't know what it is. So there's no way they could be a month later, these dogs would be able to smell the decomp. And they would also have Nolan sent, if he was on the boat alive, but they would also know if there was a dead body on that boat. And they declined. They said, nah, we don't think so. So I'm not sure why they didn't want to dispel that right away. We would have known right away if the dead body had been on that boat. Okay,
Crump. Why aren't you allowing the cadaver dog team onto that boat? We need to know. Brian Trasher, you made it sound very mysterious. What is the solution used to get rid of human decomposition?
I'm not going to say that on the air. There might be somebody watching that's trying to hide a dead body as we speak, but people can do.
Are you referring to muriatic acid?
No, it's a specific kind of product that's on the market that is used. Matter of fact, some of our team just went through a training in Texas, and one of the things they did was show them how to clean out a vehicle or something that had decomp on it with this particular solution. And they would have had to take screws off, and they would have to be very detailed if they were trying to hide something. So there's virtually no way that the dogs would not have picked this up.
Did they give any explanation as to why they didn't want the cadaver dogs on the boat? There could be an explanation. Did they give one?
Not to us, they didn't. No, we just assumed that it. I'm speculating, but if we would have known right away that there was no dead body on that boat, it might have defeated some narratives that were being pushed out.
You, Brian Trasher, what can you tell me about an offer to the family regarding cadaver dogs?
Okay, now, as we all know, that was the first lie they told, because I already told you, and I'll pull up the receipt shortly, but I already told you all that in the beginning, I could have sworn I remember them reporting that, but they didn't say anything about having asked Crump that. Okay, they supposedly asked law enforcement that. Okay, Ledbetter. Okay, as well as the families that own the boats. All right. And like I told you all before, Crump has no say in that. How is Crump going to give permission for anyone to search anything that doesn't even belong to him? And even the police need a warrant to do so and probable cause. Okay. So that is a lie right there. Now you need to ask yourselves, why are they sitting here making up these nefarious lies? Okay. Why are they saying one thing and then coming back and saying another? They also said that Crump lied or misrepresented their words about Nolan's body being found fully clothed. United Cajun Navy says Nolan Wells was not fully clothed, as was previously stated when the body was found. Now listen to this. Officials with the United Cajun Navy released more details regarding Nolan Wells' case out of Jackson County, Mississippi. According to UCN officials, when Nolan's body was found, he was not fully clothed, contradicting what was said during an interview with Nancy Grace. So who said that during the interview with Nancy Grace? Does anyone care to remember? It was Todd Terrell. That's who it was, okay? That's who it was. He did say that on Nancy Grace's show. Says Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct? This is what Nancy Grace said, to which Cajun Navy member Todd Terrell said, yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, in a news release from the Cajun Navy, Terrell then corrected himself to a different news organization, saying Wells was wearing blue swim trunks when he was found. Wells went missing on the July the 4th, and we know all the rest. So now, do you all think, I want you all to pay attention, do you all think that was an accident? Do you all think that was an accident? I assure you it wasn't. Now think about this. Nancy Grace repeated it. Because one thing about Nancy Grace, even though I'm not a fan of hers, one thing about her is she is very thorough. Notice that when she makes statements or when she asks questions, she is very specific and she chooses her words carefully. Okay, this is somebody who has been a prosecutor and won all of her cases. So I've heard, okay, Willie D said she had like 100 cases and won them all. So she's very careful with how she phrases her words. So when she specifically asked him that, why would he say yes and fully agree with it? Only for days later for Brian Trasher, or one of them to post on social media scolding Crump. That's what it sounded like they were chastising him like he was someone's child. Okay, stop misrepresenting our words and all of that. That's the energy they came with, only to then come back and correct themselves. Okay, I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay attention because this is the play here. Okay, this is absolutely the play here. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this next clip. Here we go. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
And it is coming out saying that the Cajun Navy asked if dogs could search the boat that I guess Nolan was allegedly on, and that they denied having dogs search their boat. Now, if there was no foul play, if there was nothing that happened, why would they refuse dogs to go on the boat to obviously smell for wrongdoing? This is just new information. So I need to check and verify this, but there is a lot of suspicion. I saw Officer Tatum went down to that funeral and is calling Ben Crump and Al Sharpton a disgrace and saying that he's got information that'll prove these boys innocent and that everybody's making it about race. But Officer Tatum is the true disgrace in this. But again, these boys refuse to let dogs on the boat, and we need to know why. If there was nothing wrong, why would you have a problem with somebody searching the boat, doing whatever they need to find out that there was no foul play? Let me know what you guys think. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president.
I'm sorry, say what? Now you heard what Sam just said, right? He didn't ask Ben Crump, and even if he did, Crump can't give the authorization. Okay? With that being said, the boys allegedly said no. Why would they say no? There was nothing to see here, folks, right? Please pay attention, but hold on. I want you to hear this. Hold on. I want you to hear this. Now, I would show you all the video, but and it wants me to log in on TikTok, so I'm just going to play the audio.
But I doubt if somebody would have done something, they would have used this chemical to remove the blood. So we've offered our services to bring the dogs around the boat of everyone that was potentially involved in this. So the federal land thing is a big deal. So the body being dumped, I would say that let us bring the dog to the boat. Let us bring it. They said the boat was clean that night or the night day before. There's only one thing that's going to clean it. If there's blood in that boat, we'll find it. Yep.
Now, you all can't see this, but the person that they're showing on this screen, okay, I wish I could show you all this. The person they're showing on the screen,
I doubt if somebody would have done
it's
something,
Ledbetter.
they would have used this chemical.
Okay, it's none other than Ledbetter. I'm going to go ahead and download it, and then that way I can show it to you all before the live is concluded. But I want you all to pay attention. Now, isn't that sketchy? Isn't that so shady? Okay, why would they lie and say that it was Crump who refused it, when in fact, it was not him at all? Why wouldn't the sheriff want them to use it? Why wouldn't the boys want them to use it? Okay, because allegedly, those are the people that were asked. Okay, please pay attention. A whole lot of lying and narratives being painted. But hold on, there was a report today from Fox News. And y'all know I don't like to watch them unless they have someone interesting on there that I want to hear what they have to say. So today they had this black man on there. I have not watched this. We're going to watch it together. But it says, Nolan Wells investigation states official autopsy completed. And then they brought in this expert. I'm sorry, no, he's a civil rights attorney, investigate the details of the investigation with civil rights attorney Adante Pointer. Okay, so they brought him on, and then True to Fox News fashion, they have the Black reporter interviewing him. Okay. D Major says, I'm convinced you and Nancy would get along well. Well, I don't know about that, beloved, but I'll take your word for it if that's what you think. Okay, but thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, here we go.
With some of our top stories that we're following from this week. Taking you out to this, we have an update in a case that is really capturing attention all across the country. We do know that as of this weekend, the official autopsy in the death of Nolan Wells has been completed. According to officials who are familiar with that investigation, results from the state medical examiner's office have not yet been made public, but are expected to be sent to a grand jury. This all has to do with the early July death of Nolan Wells, an 18-year-old who was on a boat on Horn Island before he effectively went missing. Days later, his body surfacing, and still so many questions as we are continuing on in the days and weeks to follow his death. And to talk a little bit more about what we're watching here, I'd like to bring in Adante Pointer, civil rights attorney. Adante, thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And once again, I'm getting a lot of text, emails, and even people reaching out to me on social media asking questions about this case. And so since we have the time to speak with you right now, I want to start with some of the basics. There have been a lot of conversations around these autopsy reports. There's an official one from the state, but also the family has gone on their own path to produce an independent autopsy. What has sort of been revealed through these reports? Again, the official one has not yet been released yet, but what's the difference between the two, and why are they important to figuring out what ultimately happened to Nolan Wells?
Sure. The state autopsy is conducted first because the state actually had custody of Nolan's body way before the family got their hands on the body and were able to send it to an independent autopsy for an independent autopsy. So what you have is the state actually had the body in its most original state from once it was recovered. And so they have the primary opportunity and duty to investigate and examine this body for any type of signs of trauma or drowning and any other type of physical injuries or the condition of the body. Whereas an independent examiner, they're getting the body after the original autopsy is done. And oftentimes the body, as once again, during the autopsy, it's cut open. Not only is the external body examined, but also the internal body is examined, as well as toxicology tests of the sort to see if there are any type of intoxicants on board, alcohol and things of that nature. So the independent autopsy is a way for a family to get answers in advance of the state's autopsy coming out. And oftentimes that's all the family has, because the state autopsies oftentimes take much longer to deliver the results to the family. And as you can imagine, if you're a family, you're anxious to know what happened to your son.
Absolutely. And so we do know from Ben Crump, he's the attorney who's currently working there with the family. They've been very outspoken about what they believe happened to their son and just really wanting to know more answers from those officials who are in charge of this investigation. But so far, as we've been talking about that independent autopsy, we do know that the family released some information indicating this. They said publicly that the determined and cause and manner of death is undetermined pending investigation. Legally, what does undetermined mean, and why might this information that this independent autopsy brings also be able to be reconciled with what the state has in order to put together the real pieces of what happened to Nolan Wells?
All right. Well, the independent autopsy and the person who conducted it, forensic examiner, was unable to reach a final conclusion about the cause of death. Why? Because they were missing significant parts of Nolan Wells' body, in particular his larynx and his throat, which may lead to evidence or maybe evidence towards saying that he was choked or asphyxiated or things of that nature, or also that he took on water and he drowned, because that was the initial story that was put out. And that was what officials suspected, or at least they said they suspected, was that he drowned. And so not having the throat, which could be evidence of maybe some foul play, is super important. And without really fully examining the body, a forensic examiner cannot rule out or rule in a particular cause of death. So that's critical for the families, for the family to get that information.
6 months ago, I received my autism diagnosis at age 42. I was assessed online via Prosper Health, and
And so, Dante, I want to ask you this. We've seen several videos that have surfaced online. TMZ, who's some of our partners here at Fox, they have obtained video of some of the moments where Nolan Wells was last seen there on the island. He's there on several boats. He seems to be with a crowd of people. So my question for you is about witnesses and the story that they'll be able to tell in order to help move along in this investigation. How critical are some of those eye accounts of people who are there on Horn Island to get together the pieces that really determine Nolan Wells' last few hours as he was alive?
Witness accounts and their statements are critical. They are actually very pivotal to trying to piece together what took place because the witnesses have essentially firsthand information as to what took place, who was involved, and how this whole thing came to be. And also, you can use those witness accounts to either undermine or contradict or to further probe into what maybe some of the initial statements were made by his friends who actually sailed out to Horn Island with him and ultimately left him. At least their claims are that they left him on Horn Island. So it's going to be critical to interview each and every one of those witnesses, no matter when they saw Nolan or if it was before or after his friends left, because that's going to determine the circumstances, the mind state he was in, whether there was any type of arguments, any type of disagreements, whether they saw him with the phone, because as we know, the phone made it back to Mississippi and onto land. Whereas Nolan supposedly left, I'm to say Nolan stayed and did not take the boat ride back with his friends. And that, I think most people would find that pretty odd, that a person would leave their would leave their phone and not have it with them while they plan to stay behind and let their friends go on about their business for the day. That's just a little odd, an odd factor that I'm sure the family is, really trying to get to the bottom of.
And I guess that especially in this day and age, especially with Gen Z and the younger generations, they're attached to their phones. And so I'm glad you brought up the phone piece of information because we do know that Ben Crump and their legal team are right now searching for more information through all of the phones of people who were present at the time. How critical is that forensic evidence there and digital evidence of communications of those who were with Nolan within his last few hours, and what potentially stories could be told through those messaging and communications?
Well, our phone is essentially digital evidence. There are digital footprints because everywhere you go is tracked. And so you're able to kind of recreate where people were at by the GPS coordinates and where the phone was located at particular times. And you're also able to determine the type of communication that was given. For example, you could send a text message. Maybe it was in reference to Nolan. Maybe it was in reference to the circumstances that were going on. And so that would allow investigators to kind of recreate the timeline of what took place. But it also can lead to either excluding or ruling someone out as having been involved in this, but also can rule in someone as being involved in the circumstances as to how he wound up coming up dead. So our phones are critical, and analyzing them is very important for police investigators. And keep in mind, just because you delete something on your phone doesn't mean that it's deleted forever or that it can't be retrieved by investigators. So if by chance any of these phones have communications, text messages, social media, and things like that, investigators are still able to uncover those and review those to determine what happened to Nolan Wells.
And lastly here, Adante, I want to talk about the path forward. What other milestones are you really looking for? We know that evidence that was procured there from the official autopsy will be presented to a grand jury. What else are we watching for in the next few days and weeks as the details are continuing to seep out from Nolan Wells' case?
Well, certainly we're going to be looking at the information that comes from the cell phones. Certainly we're going to be looking to hear any other witness accounts in terms of how this all came to be and where people were at in a timeline. One of the other important things, too, is going to be those grand jury proceedings because heretofore, up till now, we really don't know what the state has gathered. They've been tight-lipped, as they often are in these type of investigations, in order not to tip off any particular witnesses or suspects, and also just to protect the integrity of the investigation. But when you're a family member, you're not so much interested in the tight-lippedness or keeping everything shrouded in secrecy. What you want is transparency. What you want is information. And you don't want it now. You want it like yesterday. Because at the end of the day, you have a parents and you have a family that is without an 18-year-old healthy young man who had all the promise in his life in front of him. And now the family is left with a void, and they're entitled to everything that they have that the state has and has accumulated in order to figure out what happened to Nolan Wells on that day.
Absolutely. And so we'll continue to keep folks updated here on Live Now from Fox as new information comes out. Certainly appreciate you, Adante, for joining us here on this Sunday to give us the latest information.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to continuing as we work on this case.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now with that all been said, listen, I'm going to tell you all this. Please pay attention. Be careful of what you're putting in the chat. Do not say anything disparaging about any other race or ethnic group, okay? You will be put in a timeout. And then after that, if I have to say something again, you'll be in a timeout until tomorrow. And after that, you'll just be gone. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, moving right along. Okay, moving right along. At the end of the day, you all heard what he said, right? Now, it was funny when he said, I almost laughed out loud when he said that they could also be doing this to preserve the integrity of the investigation. Because as far as I'm concerned, the word integrity should not be used in any sentence with the state of Mississippi. Okay? Because where is theirs? That's what I would like to know. They don't have any. Okay, we've heard, at least of all, not Ocean Springs. Now, with that all been said, Willie D. Oh, and another thing, moderators, please do not ban anyone that you think is a troll simply because you disagree with them or someone in the chat disagrees with them. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. If anyone comes in being disrespectful, however, spamming the chat, said anything that's racist, said anything that's threatening, or any vulgarities and things like that, remember the rules, okay? But not just because you or someone else doesn't agree with what they say. Now, with that all being said, let's continue because Willie D had an exclusive interview today with Miss Janetta Brantley, the woman who enhanced the audio, okay, the audio engineer. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to be using an overlay, and shout out to Willie D for his due diligence. Okay, and let's get ready to get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Ben Crump was on Art of the Dialogue, too, which I thought was very interesting. Okay, here we go.
Mainstream, and I think they'd be all over you. But because you are a Black woman, they're trying to discredit you because they can't stand that Black excellence. Yeah, they can't stand it, man. It kills them that you beat them to the punch. That's what I saw. You beat them to the punch, and you reminded them of how brilliant Black people are. That's right, I said it. You reminded them of how brilliant Black people are. And that underscores the fact that a lot of them fear us because they fear what we would become if we had the resources. You had the resources to go in there and enhance that audio, and look what happened. This is what I want to know. I see Nancy Grace interviewing everybody. I mean, she interviewing everybody she can get her hands on. I think I saw her interviewing a dog watcher, but just anybody. She's just grabbing them, snatching them everywhere. And I'm hearing people talk, Auntie Nancy. I'm getting some feedback on maybe on your end, I think. Did you hear that? Did you hear any noise? Oh, so I'm hearing some noise on my end. Let's see if I can clean that up and stuff. I don't know see if I can get on my audio engineer cleaning. Okay, but it's still happening. I need to ask the comment section, are they hearing feedback? Are y'all hearing me fine? Are y'all hearing us fine? Because I'm getting static. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear us fine. You hear it? You good? You good? I hear it too. Oh, somebody hear it? I hear it. Okay, they're hearing feedback. We can't go through it like this. Are you sure it's nothing on your end?
I don't hear it.
Okay, mute your end. Okay, it's on your end.
To start a podcast with Riverside, all you need is a concept and a way to record it.
About to grab some headphones.
Yeah, it was on your end. Thank y'all for helping us out right there, chat. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Look at the devil, boy. The devil trying to get us. The devil is in the chat, y'all. The devil is in the chat. Think they slick. We're going to get this information out there. Yeah.
Let me see. 1 second. If we can send the audio to someone else that doesn't have it, like your phone. 1 second.
We're getting there, fam. We're getting there.
Bluetooth.
Bear with us, bear with us, bear with us. You getting some headphones? Okay. Other than that, what I heard you, you celebrated a birthday yesterday, another milestone.
I did.
Congratulations, congratulations. It's always
Thank you.
It's always good to make that full trip around the sun.
And I enjoyed myself too. I'll take the big ones.
Big ones, okay, big ones.
Can you see the chat?
Can I see the chat?
You sure?
Okay, we good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an engineer. This is what I wear anyways.
Okay, we good. Okay, now we're good.
They
Okay,
match.
all right.
Got it.
So how do you respond to the people out there who are saying that the actual audio is fake and it's been manipulated?
Honestly, I'm trying not to respond as much other than when I actually showed, when I put that video out of me actually showing from top to bottom how I went to YouTube, downloaded the source from there, pulled it into Logic, and just did some quick little things, quick little processing to show that I didn't do anything fraudulent. I didn't add anything extra. I didn't commit alchemy or do some type of magic. I did what anybody can do. And so at this point, it's like their own biases and they're just doing what they do best. People are peopling.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Being an artist, I'm not as skilled as you are with audio engineering and cleaning up stuff like that. But I got enough skills to, if I had thought about that, I would have went in and tried to do it. I would have went in. I was like, oh, that was brilliant of you to actually, like, with all of the thousands of people who are engineers out there, like, it's like nobody even bothered.
Let me say something to Andre. Andre says, get to the point. Why are we watching this to discredit her? Of course not. Does it sound like Willie D wants to discredit her? Okay, and why do you think we're watching it? Okay, we're giving her her credit, and because we want to hear what she has to say, beloved. Now, if you don't, then you can kindly leave and come back later, okay, after we're done with this part of the video. Thank you, and have a good day.
They said, or they said that they didn't, think about it, but you had the presence of mind to not think about it, just think about it, but also act on it. And when you did, or you talk about stirring the pot. Now, I asked you about Nancy Grace. That's where we got, we started, the sound started breaking up. But going back to Nancy Grace has interviewed everybody she can think of. And what I want to know is, have you received any communication from her? Has anybody from her team reached out to you?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So what's going on with that? Are you talking to them? Or you already did it?
I will be talking to them. Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, okay, I won't belabor that then. I'll get on off the gas because I'm like, Because I'm like, anybody reporting on this, anybody who's serious about getting some answers, if they're not reaching out to you, they ain't serious. I can't take them seriously. And that's including the investigators. Has any investigators reached out to you? Anybody from the Ocean Springs Police Department?
No.
Anybody from the FBI?
No.
See, I can't take them seriously. Like, if they're not reaching out to you, I cannot take them seriously.
In part, I feel like there's really no need to reach out to me because what I have access to is they have access to. And not only that, they have way better equipment than I do. The FBI, they actually have like, audio analysts that can do what they're supposed to do. And so there's really no need to reach out to somebody that I took it up on myself because I wanted to hear what I thought I was hearing and I just wanted clarity on it. But what I did and what I have, they can do themselves. And so that could be part of the reason why I haven't been reached out to them. Like, I haven't been reached out.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I like your spirit.
Thank you.
I like your spirit.
Okay, so now with that all being said, okay, so I think we've heard enough. I just really wanted to hear what she had to say or whatever, because people have been going in on her and trying to harass her and all of that, and just saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, with that being said, let's get back to business, okay? Because for one, I want to talk about what the Cajun Navy. Let me go back to my receipts. First off, let's go to this first report. Okay, for those of you who have been following this story since day one, like myself, I've been reporting on it. I want to go to the initial report when they first found Nolan. Likes up, everyone, please like and share, and you'll see where I'm going with this in just a moment. Okay, I'm waiting for this to cue.
Who get it done.
WLOX News Now Midday starts with breaking news.
Breaking news, a body has been found on Horn Island near where missing 18-year-old Nolan Wells went missing. Search crews like this one you see here in the air have been searching for him for more than 40 hours now. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brandy McGill. Will Polston has been on the scene at a command post in Jackson County all morning as they search, and he now joins us live. Good morning to you, Will.
Hey, good morning, Brandy. We got word here just at about 8:45 that there was a body found on Horn Island, and the officials are now working on bringing that back. Now, as of right now, we do not have an identity of the body that was found, but I can confirm that Nolan Wells' family is here at the Lake Mars boat launch. Now, they've asked us not to show the camera in that direction right now of the family grieving. There is quite a bit of family and friends here from Nolan's family, but like I said, we do not have.
Now, let me just let you all know why I went back to this. Because Nolan's mother and father went there. Remember, about 5 o'clock in the morning, the father stated that the coach called him because the coach had a boat and asked him if he wanted to go out there and search. Okay, so the parents were out there. But remember, in that Tap Dancing Tatum podcast video, Warren said that they went out there too. Okay, remember that? Now let's see if he mentions them being out there. He just said the parents and family, and then friends of Nolan's family.
Identity as of right now. Sheriff Ledbetter did confirm that a park ranger ended up finding the body that was found, and the coroner was here earlier and has since left. They left right at about 10 o'clock, just after 10 a.m., waiting on getting official confirmation on the identity, cause of death, and everything else in between. Of course, as we find out more information, we're going to be updating you on our website at WLOX.com. But as of right now, a really somber scene as the family all gathered around, hugging and trying to enjoy each other's company during a somber time. Again, still waiting to find out the official identification of the body found, though. Reporting live in Jackson County, Will Polson, WLOX News Now.
Well, thank you so much for that. So Nolan Wells, he's also a football player at Southwest Mississippi Community College, SMCC, also putting out a statement asking their community to pray for his return.
Okay, that was a very sad day when we all got that news that they had found a body. We pretty much assumed, pretty much figured it was him, because how often have we been hearing that someone was found out there? Okay, so it wasn't a coincidence. Now I'm going to go to the initial report from the Cajun Navy.
Good morning, Josh Gill. 5 July 2026, really important. I know you guys are going to be out on the boat today. Enjoy your day. If you're going out towards Horn Island, I need you to keep your eyes out for 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Black young man, about 6'1", 180 pounds, was last seen on that north end of Horn Island. Guys, he hasn't been found. Okay, he was last talking to a girl on that north end. He went out to Horn Island with some buddies yesterday out on a boat. He's not been heard from in close to 24 hours. So guys, if you're out there fishing, if you're out there, jet skiing, doing whatever you guys are doing, keep your eyes out for Nolan. Family's going to be out there in the boat searching. We're going to try and get some air assets up there. We know there's surface assets around. Coast Guard's been notified. Local police have been notified. Guys, please, please keep your eyes out. Look at the poster. Look at the pictures. Let's see what we can do. Let's find this young boy. His mother's worried sick. Let's do what we do, guys. Love each and every one of you. Be safe. I hope you also have 10 fingers and toes. Let's do work.
Okay, so that's when they were still searching for Nolan, and we got the sad news the next day. So I want you all to pay attention, because here's the thing. Now, the United Cajun Navy participated in a continuous, I want you all to pay attention, in a continuous multi-day search operation over a 2-day period, okay, rather than a specific counted number of separate individual searches, okay, but they had participated in continuous searches, multi-day search. Okay, now the disappearance. Nolan went missing on the afternoon of July the 4th of 2026 on Horn Island. The United Cajun Navy joined ground, water, and aerial efforts, okay, including seaplane and deployments alongside the Coast Guard and local authorities on July the 5th and 6th. Now, they did all of this, and I want you all to pay attention. So they talked about the water, the conditions of the water and all of that. And then what happened after they did all of that searching? They were above ground, in the air, they were on the ground, they were doing everything, not to mention the father was out there, family members and whatnot. But no one found Nolan. No one saw Nolan until the 6th at 8:45 in the morning. That's when they found him. And who found him? Who found him? They say a ranger found him, right? They say a ranger found him. Well, here's what I find interesting about that. First of all, remember what I told you all initially? Do you all remember what I told you all initially after they found Nolan? I told you that Nolan's grandfather, okay, and this is Christopher Wells, this is Christine Wells Wansley's father. I told you all that he said, because I follow him on social media, and I told you all that he said that it was a bit suspicious, or I don't remember if that's the exact word he used, but he was like, how did they all of a sudden find him early first thing in the morning, but nobody saw him for 2 whole days when they were out there searching? Okay, they were on the ground and in the air. And Horn Island is not that big. It's only 10 to 13 miles, as I told you all. So how did nobody see him for 2 days, and all of a sudden, there he is? And they say a ranger found him, right? Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. Hold on. And remember, you heard this first on the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show, because nobody has reported on this. Nobody has talked about this. I already did a search 2 days ago, and I did another one today, because I know nobody's talking about it. Okay, please pay attention. Now, Hold on, I'm almost done. Now, here's my question. Here's my question. I want you all to pay attention. Does anyone know exactly who this ranger is that found Nolan, that found his body? Has anyone interviewed him? Has anyone talked to him, got a statement from him? Is there anything posted on social media about him? Has TMZ spoken on him? Has any of the news media spoken on him? Has anyone named him? Have we seen a picture? The answer is no. And you should all be asking yourself, where is this mystery man? Has he vanished? Okay, why can't we find him? It says the specific name of the park ranger who discovered Nolan Wells's body on July the 6th of 2026 has not been publicly released by the authorities. Reports from the National Park Service and news outlets only identify the individual generally as a Gulf Islands National Seashore Park ranger. Y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that suspicious? How come we don't know who this man is? Now, also, I want you to remember something else that I told you that no one else ever mentioned. I remember that when Brian Trasher, okay, when he did one of his first interviews, he said something that I caught on to, and I told you all, I said, y'all don't think that sounds interesting? He said that they were in the air about 300 feet, and he looked down, and they saw two boats side by side, like they were close together, and they saw Nolan's body. Okay? Y'all remember that? Yes, of course, this information is sealed, beloved, but the question is why? Why do they need to seal his information? Okay, they don't usually tend to do that in these cases. So that's the question. Why is it such a secret? Who is this person that found it? You see, this is very interesting to me because I remember that some people speculated, including myself, that just perhaps, was his body placed there? Was the body placed there? I have several questions. Okay. Because I remember everything from beginning to end and all in between from this story. Okay. From this case. So when little things start changing, like the stories start to change, and all of a sudden they're saying Ben Crump refused the cadaver dogs. I told you all then. I said, wait a minute. The first reports about that said it was actually the police that they questioned as to whether or not they wanted the cadaver dogs. Okay, because they offered to do it for free. Secret Service Sam reported that they also asked the boys, and they said no. Nobody ever said anything about Ben Crump until recently. You see, I want you to pay attention because there is a concerted information, or concerted, not information, but there's a concerted effort, okay, to take down Ben Crump. Because not only is Ben Crump a problem for them in this case, he was also a problem for them with Ahmaud Arbery. Okay, he's always a problem for them when they have stories and cases such as this that they want to sweep under the rug, because they know once he starts drawing attention to it, shining a light on it, okay, then all of a sudden everybody's going to start looking. People who may not have heard about it, they're going to start paying attention, and that's what they don't want. So let's just discredit him by telling lies on him and saying that he tried to purposely keep us from finding out serious information. He didn't want the cadaver dogs on the boat. Now, if he thought that there was something afoot, why wouldn't he? That's the kind of energy they're trying to put out. And I want you to pay attention because when they do these things, they do it in a very slick way. Okay, that's what they do. They don't just come out blatantly. They try to slide little things in. For example, Brian Trasher, when he posted on social media, he didn't come right out and call Crump a lie, but he implied that Crump was a lie. Okay, he said, stop misrepresenting our words. Okay, that's what he did. He tried to act as though Crump twisted their words, but he really wanted everyone else to believe that Crump, in fact, was lying. Okay, that's what he wanted. So I want you all to pay attention because You know, we really must be on to something at the end of the day for them to even be going through all of this. We really must be on to something, because why are they so upset? Now, with that all being said, I'm going to go to this clip. I have about 2 more clips to show you, and then we're out of here. And I will be back in the morning. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. Now listen to this guy right here, because if you ask me, he clearly wants to take a walk on the wild side. Okay, please pay attention.
Contact with Bart's attorney. Bart, his family, I want to be sued. You're cooked. I want to be, let's go to court. I'll contact me personally. I'll give you my name, my number, my address, and my attorney's information. Let's take it to court. I want it. I want it. I desire it. I call your bluff. I think you're bullshitting, because in civil court, it's not criminal court. You can plead a fifth on some things, but can't plead a fifth on everything. And I have about 2 or 3 good attorneys right now. They want to talk to you. So let's depose Bart. Let's do it. Let's get it cracking. Because I know something. How do you have 2 coordinates on the same boat at the same time? Let's talk. I got some questions. My attorneys down show do. They good. They real good. I need a favor, y'all. I want y'all to get in contact with Bart's attorney. Bart, his family.
Look, I'll tell you what. I don't want to be sued because I don't feel like sitting up in court and all that. But I absolutely do intend to keep talking about this. Okay. That's what I intend to do. So please pay attention. Now, Gino Zach, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, now, 2 more clips, and then we're out of here. Let's get into it. Someone said he's been drinking liquid courage. That's what I Am Technology said. And so let's talk about a plot twist and a reverse Uno card being dropped on the table. Let's get into it. Now, I find it absolutely egregious and quite frankly nefarious that Dr. Benjamin Hudson, Warren's father, has put out a Gibson Go fundraiser account, okay, asking for money for the friends of Nolan Wells. First of all, they were never his friends, okay, as far as I'm concerned. They were frenemies, if anything. But the audacity of them to be using Nolan's name, trying to profit and cash in and gripped off of his demise, it is so disrespectful, and especially after the things that people like Warren and Trayston Shepard have said about the mother. Okay, please make it all make sense. But then you have people, the Confederates, out here going in on Mrs. Wansley, okay, and her husband, saying that they're grifting, you know, trying to say that they're just doing this all for money and just all these hateful things they've been saying. Well, this woman is still clearly grieving, but they don't have a problem with this. See how they have completely flipped the script, how they've completely changed the narrative, and now they want to make the people who left Nolan on that island according to their own mouths. This is what they have said. And so they say that they left him there, but they at the same time say they were his friends, his best friends. He was like a brother to them. And now they want to profit off of his demise. Somebody please make that make sense. And clearly they know something that we all don't, because they're raising this money supposedly for a civil suit, not a criminal defense, okay? And so, yeah, if they in fact did do anything, and I'm not saying they did, but even if they did, they definitely don't seem to be expecting any consequences, okay? Please pay attention. The fact that they've already made 2 arrests for threats that were supposedly made against Judge Ashley Cole in a government office, I find that very interesting, because my question is, are they doing the same? Are they investigating? Are they giving a probe? Are they looking into whether it's local, state, or federal law enforcement? Or are they actively looking into the threats made, credible threats made against Mrs. Christine Wansley and her family? Okay, I highly doubt it. Okay, please pay attention. At the end of the day, for them to be sitting here going in on Mrs. Christine Wansley and her family and Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, calling them grifters, and they didn't have that same energy for Jeff Metcalf, okay? This person who was not even in the same home with his sons, at the end of the day, he's come out and said all these hateful things that we all have heard, and he's still grifting right now. But nobody said anything about that. Also, let me remind you that no one was being disrespectful or going in on Natalie Holloway's mother when she was searching for her daughter. okay, who was alleged to have been drinking when she disappeared as well. Okay, but they want to go in on Nolan, act like he was some drunkard out here just doing the most and taking illegal substances, really trying to sully his character, trying to victimize the victim and victim blame the victim. This is also insidious. At the end of the day, I just wonder what these people do to sleep at night. Okay, please pay attention. And mind you, I'm not saying that they should have gone in on Beth Holiday, because absolutely not. Okay, she was a grieving mother, and my condolences for her loss, as I said back then. But the bottom line is, what I'm saying is, multiple witnesses said that Natalie had been heavily drinking. Okay, the bottom line is they say the same thing about Nolan. And so people want to use that to just drag him for filth and just go in on his parents and act as though he doesn't deserve justice because of that. Okay, it's just low down and nefarious. And these people, they just don't care. But they want to say that people who look like me are the ones making it about race, when everything that the Confederates do is always about race. Okay, please pay attention. Then tap dancing Tatum is out here helping them to paint this fictitious narrative. Okay, acting like he knows so much about Nolan, acting as though he has some credible evidence and proof that things are going to come back a way that we don't expect to see. But the bottom line is, he doesn't know any more than we do as it pertains to what's going on. Always acting like he has some secret insider information. Okay, please pay attention. He's also been exposed for lying, acting as though there's so much bad reception out there that no one could have good reception on their phone, that no one could be uploading pictures or anything. And that's the excuse for why Nolan's phone had nothing in it. Well, that's already been debunked, because the woman who posted that video of what happened on the island absolutely uploaded that picture to her Snapchat while she was on the island. So tap dancing Tatum, you need to go back to the office and try it again, beloved. Okay, please pay attention. And also, mind you, the Confederates, aka MAGA minions, are also going in on the good white tea people. Okay, yeah, that's what they're doing, making threats to them. But they want to act like we're the ones stoking racial hatred when we're absolutely not. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, they have threatened Secret Service Sam. Okay, and I'm hearing that they want to take Nancy Grace off the air. This is what they're doing. Anyone who has a contrary opinion, even if they look like them, they do not care. Okay, they just want to take down anyone who doesn't go along with their narrative. Okay, please pay attention. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're even going in on Nancy Grace, honey. And I thought they loved Nancy Grace. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this next clip. And then I have someone's comment that I want to show you, and then we're out.
Secret Service Sam here, and I just want to suggest Dr. QueenAShakur is one of my favorite content creators. She's a close personal friend of mine. We worked on the Diddy trial together, and she is just a brilliant creator who is always right on top of things. And she has been covering the Nolan Xavier Wells case, and she has so many brilliant, beautiful points. I've gone on her podcast so much. Please, if you like me, if you trust me, if you like me as a friend, go follow my friend, because she actually posted a video about the orange guy, way up top in the house that's white. And they took her whole account away just for that. So I want to try and help her build her following back up. She is the truth. Make sure you go to her first for everything you need to know about this Nolan Xavier Wells trial and so many others, because she's so smart. She has a criminal justice history. She is brilliant. Make sure you follow her. Thank you so much. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of the world.
Okay, shout out to my buddy Secret Service Sam. Okay, shout out to Sam for that. It's good to be appreciated. And like I keep telling y'all, honey, me and Sam have each other's backs, just like we did up there in New York when that crazy man tried to attack us. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I want you all to see this comment that someone dared to leave. I'm like, lady, what are you even talking about? It's a whole Karen, mind you. Let's get into it. Okay, now I'm going to try to enlarge this so you all can see it. Okay, you all can see that, right? Hold on. So she says, before you censor my comments, I'm going to let you know that I am mixed with black. Okay, therefore, when you put people in timeout, you are censoring black women. Now, at that said, I saw a comment that I agree with. Nolan did not live with his mom for 3 years prior to his death. Okay, why should his mother be getting that huge payout when clearly there was an issue in the home that kept Nolan from living with her for 3 years? Okay, this is some information that needs to be addressed. Now, you want to hear that? Now, first of all, I can say, and let me just tell you, I have no idea what in the hell she's talking about. I've never heard that. Now, what I did hear was the fact that, what's his name? Ike Pyron, Warren's brother, or no, I'm sorry, Wyatt's brother. I do recall him saying that Nolan practically lived with them for 3 years. Now, I took that to mean simply that Nolan basically came to their house a lot. Okay, that's how I took that. Now, I don't know where she's getting this other stuff from because I've never heard that. And we know that the MAGA minions, aka the Confederates, put out a whole bunch of stuff. That doesn't make it so, right? So here's my thing. This is what I told her. Okay, this is what I told her. I said, basically, you know, I'm sure you're a Karen. And I told her, I'm sure your mother is a Karen. Okay, and you probably don't even claim your black side if you have one. Okay, until you want to use it to try to go in on black folk at the end of the day. Okay, and I asked her, I told her, I'm sure that you didn't have the same energy or come on my channel. I know you didn't come on my channel with the same complaint about Jeff Metcalf, who absolutely didn't live in the house with his sons, okay, and who absolutely was grifting then and is still grifting. She didn't say anything about that. So what is she talking about? And also, whether he lived with his mother or not, this is the woman who brought him into this world. She's not supposed to try to fight for justice, and his family should not be compensated. Okay? Please make it all make sense. Please make it all make sense. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. Everyone is sitting up here, not everyone, but you know what I'm talking about. These MAGA minions, okay, these Confederates, they're sitting up here upset because they know that Mrs. Wansley is going to get money from those folks. Okay, from those folks, because for one, even if there is no foul play, even if it is determined that Nolan simply accidentally drowned, the fact of the matter is whoever was manning the vessel that Nolan was on and they left him there, well, you know, they're going to be held responsible. They're going to be held responsible because the captain is always supposed to ensure that everyone is aboard. That's how that goes. Okay, so that's negligence at the very least. And also wrongful death. Okay, please pay attention. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Oh, yeah. Trisha said a female Tatum. That is what I told her. Beloved, you must have seen my response. I absolutely told her. I said, if you are, you know, if you are mixed with black, at the end of the day, you're probably no different than Officer Tatum. Okay. That's what I said. All right. So anyway, with that all been said, I'm out of here, beloveds. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this evening. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. And until next time, peace.
Yeah. For Nolan Xavier Wells. 18 years old, gone too soon. Mississippi, y'all got some explaining to do. Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. So I pray the family get a real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. July 4th lights, boat ride with the crew. Young King Nolan chasing dreams, Ocean Springs through and through. Horn Island called his name, he relaxing in the blue. 2 days later found on the sand. What happened to you? Independent autopsy dropped, but but it's undetermined. Red mark on the back of the head, neck structures missing. Absurd. State sitting quiet, toxicology on the shelf. Family screaming for truth, but y'all protecting yourself. Nolan was a star athlete with a future bright. Now his mama crying every single night. Golden trip turned nightmare. Questions in the air. Who was on that island? Why the silence there? Mississippi. Need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hide? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the most high gon' really deal with you. Grand jury waiting, but the people still fighting. No severe trauma, they say, but the story don't add up clean. Waves whispering secrets, covering up the scheme. Oh, young black man gone, another one in the South. History repeating, time to open your mouth. What you hiding in them files? Why the delay? Transparency dying, why the family pray? Nolan's light was shining, future snatched away. Now the whole world watching what Mississippi say. We marching, we posting, we demanding justice loud for every mother losing sons behind that murky cloud. Oh. I pray the family get real answers. No more games, no more lies. No more